One cinematographer makes a kind of light I have chased for years. His name is Janusz Kamiński, and he has shot almost every Steven Spielberg movie since 1993. I look for a specific visual event, a bright spot of light that refuses to stop where it should. It swells, softens, and bleeds out into the rest of the picture. In 2026, I went to the theater to see their new science fiction film, Disclosure Day, expecting that same trademark glow. But this time, Kaminski had purposefully chosen a different path. Instead of a warm, breathing glow, the bright spots on the screen were contained, rigid, and cold. To understand why, we have to separate two things that people often mix up. The first is a sharp blue streak, stretched sideways by a cylindrical anamorphic lens. The second is the bloom, a soft, warm circle created by plain, round lenses. Disclosure Day was shot with those anamorphic lenses, which meant the bloom was missing by design. By looking at what happens when the light is held back, we see the physical reality of how his famous aesthetic actually works. You might assume the glow comes from the shape of the camera lens. It does not. The films where this effect stands out the most, like Saving Private Ryan and Minority Report, were shot on completely standard, round, spherical lenses. The technique starts with aggressive lighting. Kaminski places a hard, blinding source directly behind an actor and deliberately pushes the exposure meter far past any normal safety limit. He then takes the film into the lab and uses a harsh chemical process called silver retention. The lab leaves extra silver inside the negative, which deepens the black shadows and forces those blown-out highlights to punch even harder against the dark edges. On Saving Private Ryan, his crew went a step further. They unscrewed the camera lenses and stripped the protective coatings right off the glass, allowing raw light to violently scatter before reaching the film. That warm glow is just the visual record of an artist forcing physical light past its breaking point. This chart shows how film and digital sensors react to overwhelming brightness. A digital sensor climbs in a straight line and hits a flat white wall. Film bends. As light gets stronger, the emulsion eases off, rolling into a gentle curve that holds organic detail. Light actually travels entirely through the layers of the film strip, bounces off the back wall, and relights the emulsion from behind. That physical echo creates a red-orange ring called halation. Disclosure Day was shot on that exact same 35mm film. Frame by frame, the negative itself still carries the physical capacity for that glowing halation, even when the cinematographer chooses to use it sparingly. Today, an entire software industry is dedicated to rebuilding that grain, the curved roll-off, and the halation, painting them over perfectly clean digital footage. We spend massive amounts of time trying to fake the specific ways analog materials break down. But capturing the image on set is only half the equation. The other half is how that image gets delivered to you in a theater. Even though Disclosure Day was recorded organically on actual film, the digital projection method overwrites the final texture of the image. This diagram traces that warm, curved bloom surviving the camera negative, but the moment it passes through a digital cinema projector, the machine shears off the brightest light. It destroys the soft shoulder and clips the warm halo into a sterile white box. When a cinematographer builds their look on the edge of overexposure, the digital screen becomes an obstacle. Even on a film like Disclosure Day, where the bloom was used with restraint, the digital projector ensures that the remaining organic texture of the light is the first thing to vanish. Returning to that theater seat, the restrained anamorphic light of Disclosure Day highlights the boundary where the film ends and the digital screen begins. It shows the difference between a living chemical reaction and a digital sensor hitting a hard mathematical limit. Kaminski's signature is the choice to push a physical medium to its absolute breaking point and trust the outcome. The aesthetic we chase in his movies is the beauty of graceful failure, and analog film remains the only visual medium capable of failing in a truly beautiful way.